Hello survivors, welcome to a brand new video. Today we back in Soulstone survivors and we've got a samurai build for you. As you can see, we've got the samurai with his fourth weapon, the fiery katana. We are going to be using both the weapon skills, which are the molten fang as well as ignition spiral. It's been a while since I played a stacking burn build which consumes the burn to deal damage, a percentage of the damage. And we're going to mix that with a double slash as well as heart-rending strike. That's going to give us then swing to burn and burn to swing. We got divine legacy, all of them are physical skills. We got advanced tactics for the brittle, focused bind, so we only get those 4 skills, as well as critical mastery, because I'm planning on taking this a little bit further. We're not going to do it on plus 10. We're going to go Sigil of the Void and we're going to see how far we can push this with, a couple of builds out there. Now, the first thing I want to do is go something weird, something beautiful that we haven't used before, and that's going to be the explosions with burn on hit. So let's see what happens. Obviously, this isn't very, very strong in a high Katana level. The plus 10 is extremely difficult to get this working. But I thought it would be quite fun to mess around with it and see how far we can push it in about 20 minutes of game time. So let's see what happens. Hopefully we can get relatively far. Get ourselves a nice magnetic over there. Just move that to the side. And the first skill does make a fiery ground that applies burn on enemies all the time, as well as our artifact power allowing us to create a burning aura. Now, if you're thinking strongest build, Night Fang is going to be a whole lot stronger on the samurai, but I thought it'd be fun to actually play a build that we've never actually tried before. So I've never, since his release, I think I tried to see what the skill looked like, and then I was like, oh, okay, that's cool, but I never really made much of an attempt to make any build out of it. So that's where we are today. We need a slash, a swing skill. I think we'll just grab... No, we're not just going to grab it. There's heart-rending strike. Perfect. Movement speed's going to be good. We don't need that. We don't need that. Cast frequency is good. And we just need the other swing skill. I'll grab last stand until we find it. Now, we are going to focus on burn. Incinerate's going to be a bit silly here. I'll grab it because it is hard to find regardless. But the most important thing is going to be swing to fire. Swing to fire, so we can get the ignition and molten up more often, but getting this is really good as well. However, we want the amp power so that the burning deals more damage, so we're going to grab those as well. Get a nice damage increase, an epic damage increase for fire or for frontal skills. What was that for? For frontal. So why did it actually showed the ignition spiral, but it wasn't. That was a bit weird. Okay, we don't need the damage increases for frontal. It needs to be just physical, fire, area, things like that. Frontal won't include the fire ignition, which is the main skill that we need the damage on.
A fragment now. Titan blood soon.
Alright, so I spoke to the developer and they said that they will think about, because I mentioned that it might be really good to have the higher or mid game to late game vials not have the +1 objectives, and they said they'll think about it. So that's a good sign. They know how frustrating it can be when you're doing like your final netherworld run and every single one of your 10 or 11 your 15 objectives lands up being a +1. So just based on that, it's only going to be, or in my opinion, it should only be a late game or mid game thing, mid to late game. So you should only see it on your 4 out of 4 vials or your netherworld area, where there is no more +1s, where you'll only get +2 or higher. So I thought that was like fair, where you don't use or don't get anything besides for the +2 and higher. Oh, Scorching Katana is also something we really have to see a build on, which we haven't done just yet either. I think we actually did do one, but it wasn't as strong as we thought it would be, and that's because we can probably get it a lot stronger. Now, we don't have a lot of locks. I've already used one, but we will definitely work on getting some damage, the skill chain as well. But I thought getting just grabbing a multicast chance is going to be a lot stronger in the very, very early game. Because 20% or 10% skill chain right now, not going to make that much of a difference. We still need more multicast, we still need more cooldown. There's a lot we need. And I'm not going to be grabbing area of effect, even though it could be very, very strong, or it will be very, very strong. I'm actually going to stay away from it, just because I want to keep the visuals up as much as possible. So maybe right near the end we can grab it, but otherwise I'm going to stay away from it. I want to just see what builds are like without it. I know how powerful they are with it, so now we're going to see what they like without it. Okay, damage increases to the amount of fire we do. That's perfect. Get a slow, and also how much burn we can apply with one hit is also going to help us. So a mixture of both I think is the best thing. Obviously take the damage of burn over how many burn stacks you apply, and that's because the way that the skill works is it's going to deal the most amount of damage based on how much burn you actually are dealing, not how many stacks you have. So we need to deal more burn damage, not deal more stacks of burn, if that makes sense. So it says causes a percentage of the burn damage instantly. So we want that to be as high as possible, and the best way to do that is to ensure that we actually increase the damage of the burn. Whereas this, it does increase the damage, but that's because of it's actually increasing the amount of stacks you apply, where this is increasing the actual damage of the burn. It's confusing, I know, but that's just how it works. Alright, so we're going to grab a bit more magnetic. We want lethalities, damage increase. There's a swing to fire. We get one. There's a nice beautiful magnetic which we can take, increase the burn, and maybe even start going for some life as well. But the reason we're going for our dear Brokenth player is for our own, for the burn stack, or burn explosion, sorry. I thought it would be quite fun to just grab this. We've never really used it much. It says whenever an enemy with burn dies, it explodes, causing a multiplier of the total accumulated burn damage of the... see, this consumes burn. This will be much better on a burn stacking build. We'll use it next time. So we'll do the burn stacking. We'll run Katanas next time to see what happens, and we'll grab that to add to it, because that should make a big difference. But right now that's not going to assist us much. Also, exposed doesn't help. Oh no, it does. This will affect exposed because it has a base damage. Alright, but I don't think the explosion is affected by exposed, but it should be fine anyway. Okay, we get merciless. We got area of effect, cost frequency. Actually, we get a slow to disarray. We don't even have synergetic, so the fact that we found both the burn to slow and slow to disarray that quickly is extremely lucky. Just want you guys to know that. Also, another quality of life would be to allow us to change the color of the enemy's impacts. So right now I'm playing a build that uses a lot of reds, orange and yellows, so it would be nice if we could turn the enemy's attacks to purple, so we could see over it more often. Okay, damage increase, we don't actually need that, I'm getting rid of it. We don't need damage there, I'll grab the laugh. We need swing to fire. We'll take actually... Okay, we don't need magical, we'll take the physical. We don't need magical. So there's an area of effect for physical. We'll grab one, and I'll grab 1 or 2 fire to swing. We need swing to fire though, to be more prevalent. But now we've get a slow to dazed as well as a disoriented. So disarray to disoriented. So we are going to grab both of those as well. We're just getting ourselves exposed first. We got ourselves shattered. I was going to take the burn. Unfortunately, after reading it, the fact that it's based on the amount of burn stacks on an enemy, it's not going to suit this build. So it didn't really suit us taking it. Now we did go critical mastery because I do want to do Mhyzahet a second time. We want to actually go and grab... I'm going to reroll that. We do want to actually go and grab ourselves the form on hit. Because I'm hoping through a lot of skill chain and stuff, we can actually get a lot of critical strike chance. And then that critical strike chance is going to get turned into critical damage as well. So that's the plan at least. That's the reason why we took critical strike, critical mastery. And we're going to see if it benefits us or not. Alright, lethality, beautiful. Life is good. Merciless is good. Damage increase, we actually don't need expansive. Damage increase from swing to fire, so that's 56% damage increase there. We can add a critical strike chance of 16%. And how many slows do we have? We've got 3 already, so we don't need more. Just get rid of it. Disarray, we've got 2 already, so we don't need more. And the reason I say we don't need more is because we're not actually using them for anything more than just to go from Disarray to Disoriented, and it doesn't help having 1,000 stacks of it. It's not going to make a difference to the amount of stacks of Disoriented it applies. Even if you have 100 Disarray on hit, those are just going to convert into a single Disoriented stack per Disarray. And it doesn't increase the effectiveness of it either. Like you don't get a higher percentage chance of it applying. So it's just easier if we don't use it. I cannot see my feet.
Sure draws me closer.
And we've got a 3 over here and a 2 over there. We're going to grab ourselves some armor. Defense is always good. We get the multicast damage. Multicast damage. I think that will be one of the few last multicasts we gain. We are 96%. Which, you know, is pretty good. Oh, we finished the round. I didn't even realize. I'm not worried about our ascension. Is very strong though, but right now it's not that necessary. I am going to have to turn the visual slightly down for Mhyzahet, just because of how the boss fight is. And then more damage, critical strike chance, area is fine on that one. Multicast is beautiful on these. We can go damage and multicast there. Damage, cast frequencies are good. We don't need that area. Crit's fine, although maybe that crit isn't that great. And then I landed up taking a magnetic over the damage, which was silly. Really just grab the damage every time you see it. Don't do what I just did. Okay, we'll drop it down to 40%. Yep, that's much easier. And bam. Alright, so we're going to start off with Exposed. I do want to grab that every time you cast a skill, you have a chance to gain Form. It's 5% chance, but as long as we keep like skill chaining and things like that, it should be very, very good. We're going to grab ourselves Aruanak. We can go for Disoriented first. Yeah, we'll go Disoriented first, and then we'll grab the Dazed after the Void King. And we don't even need Fragility from him, so I think Wound is probably going to be the best thing we can grab. Because we'll have Disoriented, we'll have Dazed, we have Fragility.
Until light shatters the last shadow.
So I think grabbing Wound in this case is going to be the best thing for us. Okay, that's a nice one to have. Multicast there. We're going to go for the damage over everything. Damage over everything. Damage for the ignition spiral at least. So we're on 632% of the burn damage applied is now done instantly. And that includes, I mean, this does 7,842 burn. So we're doing 600 times more of that damage. And then there's also all the burn that we apply with this, which is 31,000. So times that by 6 and that's the number you get. Okay, increase the damage. Cast frequency, damage again over everything. We're on 752%. Try to get that over 1,000, which will be very easy to actually get. And remember, we do benefit from exposed as well because it does have a base damage amount. Any skill that doesn't have a base damage will not be affected.
Devotion and discipline light my way.
With exposed at least. Alright, damage increase there. I want to get the fire. No, I want the swing to fire, but I guess we'll just stick with this. Any swing is actually better than no. I mean, any skill chain is better than no skill chain. The point of the skill chain is to just get the skills to hit more often, to apply more burn. And that's going to help us, like I mentioned, with the form on hit. So as long as we have skill chain, we should be perfectly good. Oh, it's so good when they just pop. From like low life to instantly dead in absolutely no time. Oh, we did actually also just get an upgrade there. We got a critical strike damage. So it goes from Bulwark, which we have, to a critical damage. So that's big, and because we're going to go skill chaining, we should see quite a lot of that again as well. Okay, Disarray to Disorientated, which again is critical damage. And now we're going to go... Actually, we can do her a second time. Okay, let's do Aruanak again to get the poison. Oh no, we don't do poison to Dazed. We don't have poison. Oh no.
Be ready.
Alright, we'll just grab a Mhyzahet to grab the form on hit, and we might take a couple of forms on hit. We do get slow to Brittle as well from the brothers, the Cobalt brothers. So that's also another option, but maybe grabbing 2 of the Mhyzahet's form on hit to just make a 10% chance, because 5% is really low. But we'll see what the game gives us. Okay, damage increase, health is good. Don't need anything there. Let's go Merciless. Damage increase, of course. Cast frequency. Health is good. Use a couple of these. Don't need the crit. I needed the critical strike chance. That would have been good. Cast frequency. Multicasting. Area of effect. No damage. Yes. Swing to fire is what we're looking for. And we get a multicast. I'll take both. Take some of that. Damage. Prowess is also very good here, so we'll lock that. Grab the multicast. Damage. More movement speed, and we actually got quite a few legendary options over there, so that was really, really strong. Really good for us. And like I mentioned, let's go grab the form on hit, and we'll see just how many stacks we get in the very beginning. It will start to go up and up as we keep playing, and we are going to get stronger and stronger. Remember, I said we don't want to run with Colossal just because of visuals, because of the Fire Slam. Visually, it will absolutely wreck the arena. So it's just easier for us to not use it. But if you enjoy playing with your visuals on 0, where you just see enemy health bars disappear, then of course you can grab the Brittle to Colossal as well from Midorek, and you'll be in a good spot. And there is a reason why I'm not using something like a Devastating Blow. In the comment section, you guys have asked to see builds that don't use it all the time, because half the time I'm grabbing the Vyv and Valk for the Demolition Expert, and I can completely understand where you're like, okay, this is now getting boring. You don't want to see Devastating Blow in runs anymore because it becomes like a staple. So here we go, we get one without it. We are using Focused Mind just because there weren't really too many other swing skills that I wanted to use in this build. There aren't really that many that have very, very low cooldown that benefit, you know, to use in a skill chain. So if you want to use a skill chain build, obviously Devastating Blow is the best thing to do, and then you just go swing to fire and you get the burn on hit first before you get the double swing skills, and then you go from there. But yeah, you can use 4 of these, but you don't get the devastation proc, which makes quite a big difference in damage. We went for damage there. There's Relentless, multicasts. We don't need another one of those, so the damage there. Merciless. Actually, maybe grabbing 2 could be really good, but Also, oh, we don't have form yet. I was like, how many stacks of the form do we have? Meantime, I don't actually have the upgrade yet. Alright, if I was playing on plus 10 there, we would have already lost our whole entire run. Just because of that final hit. Oh, well, not our run, but we would have lost a revive already. Because that final hit there did a whack ton of damage. Okay, we now got more finesse to Bulwark, so we got more block chance, which is fantastic for the survival. And there we go. So let's see what happens. Please just make it so it is very, very strong for us. We will grab the slow to brittle just to apply more brittle stacks, because brittle, if you don't remember, is going to be applying, what do we call it? It's flat damage increase to enemies. So the more brittle we apply, the more flat damage an enemy is going to take. Which is good, especially when mixed in with exposed and fragility. I wonder if grabbing... Do you know what? We're going to go back to Mhyzahet again. You guys are probably like, oh no, Mhyzahet again. Well, it's because there is the... I think there is fragility to weakness. Or is it weakness to fragility? Darn, I should have checked it. Alright, only 22 odd stacks of form. So we definitely need more skill chain. More multicast, more cast frequency.
The gate resists, but it will fall.
Once we get Rune as well, it will make a big difference. Alright, here we go. Let's get the skill chain. Fire to swing. I prefer to get swing to fire. So let's just reroll. There we go. Swing to fire. So let's grab it. We're on 28%. We don't need area of effect anymore, so we'll just grab the fire. I mean, it is doing what, 94,000 damage, and then we taking 1,000% of that instantly. I don't see how, you know, not stacking spontaneous combustion isn't a good idea, if that makes sense. And then we're doing 870% increased damage with burns. So I think stacking both of them is very, very good. Critical strike chance, multicasting. Okay, 30 stacks of form. Again, the more cast frequency, the more critical strike chance we'll get from there. 135%. We need 1,000 stacks. Even if we get to like 200 or 300 stacks, that's really, really strong. So
fragment by fragment, the spell will fade.
we need a 2, but we never got any. So this is the point where I'm like, okay, well, why can't, like, I had 3 +1s. You know, maybe they just need to make it, maybe they can keep the +1s, but make it impossible to get 3 at the same time of any of them. Although we all want 3 +4s all the time. So maybe not the +4s, but they're already so rare already, so they could keep that one in there. But if you have a +1, you have to make it that the next one can be a +2 or whatever. But then again, people will take advantage of that, and then they won't ever do the +1, and then it will be impossible to spawn another one. But at the same time, when you're starting a high difficulty, you want a +1, especially those +1s with the void presence where you just run away and you don't have to defeat anything, because it's actually free XP and it helps with the very, very high sigils. Okay, swing to fire, 36%, movement speed's good, cast frequency, we need more.
It's time.
We need more cast frequency. Alright, so we're going to take the cast frequency, damage, and multicast from the Arcane Weaver. Boom. Boomba. Not multicast, it's just cast frequency, damage, and movement speed. That's perfect. And then, like I said, we're going to grab Wound from the Void King and go from there. Do you see my powers? I actually wonder if it's doing... Is it even doing the most damage? Yeah, of course it is. Had to just double check, you know. Alright. But the truth remains. We're gonna grab the wound. And we got, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 more turns. So we're gonna do Mhyzahet again. And the reason for that is we got to check if it is... Because I can't remember off the top of my head. I forgot to check this one before we made the video. Because I normally check what the Titans have for us in terms of the build. On my Discord, there's an image in general that shows every single Titan's passives. So, you know, I just didn't think about the weakness aspect. So that could be a really good one to look out for. But we'll take a look and we'll look at what weakness does so you can understand why I want to grab it. But now we've got wound, you can see just how much it is helping. There we go. Again, we've got +1s sitting around here. Oh, no, not you. That's the only +1 that's acceptable. But we don't need to do it unless you're on a high level, like we mentioned.
Until such a mineral will serve the forge well.
Okay, there's skill chain, fire to swing, that's fine. We need the one more magnetic, more damage, damage over the damage over the dodge, and then we look for the swing. Anytime today we actually get both of them, so we'll grab both of them, and that's 40% for both of them to be skill chaining. That should help us. Yep, look at our... Oh no, that's haste. Wow, where did I get haste from? Oh, maybe I've got haste from our skill tree. Okay, damage, good. We actually get a multicast over here. I do want the damage as well. We don't have any more locks. We got one more. I should have taken endless refill instead, but you know, I'm just human, so mistakes were made. A triple 1 again. This is fantastic. Please, developers, think about it hard. Again, we get a 1. And they all boss fights. Ew. Ah. That's what happens when you click too fast, ladies and gentlemen. You skip the good upgrade. I'm sorry, how much? 154,000 damage on burn.
Until light shatters the last.
How many? We have 20 stacks of it, and then 38 damage, 1,140 damage, along with the 1,072 damage that we do with this. That's pretty cracked, not gonna lie. Okay, give me a +2 somewhere. Oh, there's a +3, thank you. By the way, all this damage is without the inclusion of our 58% multiplicative or additive damage over here.
Each shard draws me closer.
We could still get more prowess, we can still get more form. If I don't... Ooh, thank goodness that came back. If I don't find the plus from... I mean, if we don't find fragility to weakness, then we'll grab another form and go from there. I'm hoping we can find it though. Otherwise, the other thing is to do Aruanak and get the crit to and movement speed. But I'm so sure I was wrong. Okay. Just do one more. Alright, no. Alright, we're going to grab the form. It's going to give us more stacks of form. That's perfectly fine. I nearly forgot which color portal we're supposed to be going through. And we can do this for cost frequency. Oh, no, wait, let's go get the Brittle. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's from these guys. No, I'm sure it was Mhyzahet. But then it's weakness to fragility, not the other way around.
Each shard draws me closer.
Let's just do these ones and get them out the way first. So the game's like, okay, he's doing the ones. We'll give him higher numbers afterwards. The form definitely made a difference. We're on about 100 stacks now, which is good because that's 100% critical strike chance, which means we're on what? Oops. I need to work on some critical strike chance. Give me some rare lethalities, please, game. Because this is way too low. We got a lot of 2s now, so maybe doing the 1s, get them out of the way, helps with RNG. It's totally random, it doesn't help, guys. I'm just smoking a lot of copium, okay? Let's see what happens if we add our Ascension into the mix. Well, our movement speed goes up high.
The walls shake. The Titan blood calls. Such a mineral will serve the forge well.
The next objective should have spawned, and it hasn't yet. The third one.
Each shard draws me closer.
There should be a third objective, but there isn't.
Until light shatters the last shadow.
Oh, there's one here that we couldn't see. Ladies and gentlemen, you should always pick up your all the stuff. It hides things from you. Alright, this is another one where we have to lower the visibility, unfortunately, just because of the way that it works. Let's go and re-roll a lot. We get the swing to fire, 56%. Damage. Critical strikes may now apply burn. That's the first time we've picked it up. It's already on 16,000 damage. Increase the bonus while you're active for the damage. That's fine. Movement speed here is actually going to be pretty good. But let's see. And we lower the visibility because it is a double fight and they have a lot of, not one-shot mechanics, but there's just so much on the screen. And also if you don't dodge the laser beam, that's going to hurt you a lot. So we did have to lower it there. It is unfortunate. We don't want electrified. We can go for the slow to more brittle. Again, brittle increases all damage taken by 16 for 5 seconds. That's a 50% chance. And we should be able to apply a whole lot. So let's do one more round. At least get to the 8. But you can see just how much slower this is to other things. And we'll take Fellipox and see if Fellipox has anything wondrous for us. But there you have it. Full visuals of the ignition spiral.
The Titan blood calls.
Pretty cool.
Each shard draws me closer.
And then the only time we'll turn it down is for the boss. Although we probably don't even need to, because we should be able to do a lot of damage even without it. And you can see just how it slowly chips away at the HP because it's building the burn stacks. Let's just grab our Ascension quickly. And then we can do this a lot faster. Not that we were doing it slowly in the first place, but we'll do the 2 and then the 3. So here we go, we get another one of these ones. That's perfect. And you'll notice this one went far quicker because we didn't have all the 1-1-1-1-1s. And all of the objectives, except for one of them, weren't boss fights. Where all our 1s were also nearly all boss fights, which makes it so much harder. Not that it's harder, but it makes it so much slower. So it is all a little bit of RNG in terms of how quickly you can finish a run, based on the bosses that you're going to be fighting as well. Also, I wasn't happy with how much crit we actually ended up getting. Only 179% is really, really bad.
The real storm is about to begin.
But let's see. Do we have to turn down the visuals for this boss fight? I have no idea. I can't see anything. I'm just going to assume no. It does say we're blocking, so let's just go down to 40% at least so I can see a little bit more red. But yeah, this is where things start to get a bit crazy. Okay, we'll turn it down a bit more. We actually spent so much time in this boss fight. We picked up our Ascension. And there we go. Alright, let's see what Fellipox had for. It would be so funny if Fellipox had like something amazing. So we got damage and life, that's 50%. Increase all damage caused based on the number of stacks of Bulwarks you currently have. So that could have been something good to go for, because I think we actually landed up with quite a decent amount of Bulwark stacks. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's see which one dealt more damage. So 57 trillion damage on the Ignition Spiral, that's really good. With Spontaneous Combustion, having so many stacks, it dealt 242 billion. And then Ignition Point, which is the crit, we only had a single one of them, and it did 10%. I mean, we only had it for 2 minutes 40, and it did 10% of the damage, which is crazy if you think about it. But it has a 50% chance to cast, where this is only a 25% chance. So activating or having a chance to activate twice as more often just shows you, I mean, the initial DPS is far higher. So if you're able to get more of these than you can of these, that's far stronger. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.